Welcome back to our channel, the place where hidden chapters, royal secrets, and the stories the palace won't publish finally come to light. Today we bring you a breaking news Meghan's ugly truth. Reality series Harry's desperate block attempt fails. According to recent claims in the media, the Duchess and Duke of Sussex, who are also known as Meghan Markle, and Prince Harry are in the process of producing a new reality television show. This type of program is classified as a variation of personality-centric reality programming because it focuses on the personal lives, relationships, and daily activities of the people who are featured on it. The conversation surrounding the couple's evolving media strategy and their shifting connection with the British royal family, as well as with the entertainment industry, has been reinvigorated by this endeavor. The preliminary public disclosure of the initiative came from Rob Shuter, a commentator on the entertainment industry. Shuter has been renowned for the disclosure of other information related to the Sussexes' media activities. This includes news surrounding their long-term relationship with Netflix. According to Shuter's reporting, the new series is planned to be a glossy California, sun-drenched project, with topics such as joy parenting and celebrity friendships taking center stage. This wording suggests that the visual aesthetic has been deliberately polished, characterized by bright, warm cinematography, and a mise-en-scène centered on lifestyle, in addition to a narrative that emphasizes the social environment and personal life of the couple, rather than exclusively concentrating on explicit public concerns. Shuter reports that the people behind the scenes are envisioning the show as curated chaos, a method of production employed in television programs that are not planned. This technique involves carefully planning seemingly impromptu events in order to achieve a specific narrative impact. In reality, the term curated chaos refers to producers who are manipulating scenes, suggesting topics for discussion, or fabricating circumstances that induce spontaneous reactions, and then subsequently editing the film in order to bring attention to certain emotional moments. According to a Hollywood insider, who was quoted in the report, incidents that are shown as being accidental in nature are often the result of a great deal of preparation. Reality television frequently employs this technique, in which the line that separates genuine events from constructed storylines is intentionally blurred in order to construct unified storylines out of the unpolished aspects of everyday life. According to what has been said, producers are really intrigued by the relationship between Meghan and Harry. According to preliminary reports, the goal of the executives is to bring attention to the contrast between the manner of Prince Harry, who is described as being relatively reserved or solemn, and the public image of Meghan, who is viewed as being lively and fashionable. The main premise of the series was defined by one source as glamorous Meghan versus moody Harry. This description suggests that the executives believed that the couple's interpersonal differences, which were expressed as conflict or tension, would be an attractive element for the market. The same source said that the couple's documentary series from 2022, which is called Harry and Meghan, was a prior project that generated a great deal of discussion all over the world. This source also suggested that the release of another chapter that is presented in a more traditional reality television format may garner a large audience. The following statement was made by a streaming strategist that is included in the report. They seek attention. The concept that regardless of whether it is evaluative or merely observational, the presence of the public is a crucial advantage for media figures and content producers is brought to light by the comment. Taking into consideration the persistent supposition within the industry that Netflix has an interest in making a traditional reality show that features the Sussexes, the purported switch to a program that is concentrated on their personalities and lifestyles is not surprising. This speculation first began following their initial partnership, as it was disclosed in the year 2020 and widely reported to be worth around $100 million. The original contract between the couple and Netflix was described by their production business Archwell Productions as a commitment to provide content that informs but also provides hope. The lineup that had been presented at that time included documentaries, docuseries, feature films, and children's programming, suggesting that there was a desire to cultivate a diverse portfolio of extended-length projects rather than the quick episodic content that is characteristic of many reality shows. Currently, the projects that Archwell has produced in accordance with the Netflix agreement include the following: the documentary Heart of Invictus, which depicts participants in the Invictus Games, an international sporting event established by Prince Harry for wounded service members. The documentary Live to Lead, which features a series of conversations with leaders from around the world, and the documentary Harry and Meghan, which provides details about their relationship, marriage, and eventual decision to abandon their royal obligations. Observers interpret the expressed interest in a more intimate lifestyle-focused program as a possible strategy adjustment that addresses commercial performance, overarching industry trends, and alterations in their other media affiliations. Their 2020 Netflix pact, although prominent and much analyzed, has been succeeded by an inconsistent array of productions and alterations in those collaborations. Significantly, their previous substantial audio collaboration with Spotify concluded in 2023. The partnership resulted in one season of Meghan's podcast Archetypes. However, following the dissolution of the collaboration with the audio behemoth, public censure from some industry players ensued. The termination of the Spotify agreement fueled a narrative propagated by certain critics suggesting that the pair faced challenges in establishing themselves as sustainable, high-performing content creators at the previously expected level. These reports have been prompted by comparisons to other prominent figures in reality television, particularly the Kardashian family, and the format of series like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Commentators have emphasized parallels in mechanics rather than direct equivalence. Both models utilize public intrigue regarding private relationships and domestic interactions as content for episodic narratives. In the instance of the Kardashians, producers consistently employed the contrasting personalities of family members and marital discord, such as the relationship between Kris Jenner and her former husband Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner, in the initial seasons as recurring themes for viewer engagement. Observers propose that a comparable strategy might be utilized for the Sussexes, capitalizing on popular fascination in the private experiences of a former senior royal couple and their adaptation to life outside the monarchy. For a member of the British royal family, consistent participation in the reality TV format would be unique and signify a significant deviation from the conventional formal modes of public engagement traditionally linked to the institution. The reporting on this purported development has coincided with wider examinations of the Sussexes' position within the competitive Hollywood landscape. Tom Sykes, in his article for the Royalist blog, posited that the couple's initial enthusiasm in the entertainment business had waned. Upon Harry and Meghan's initial relocation to California, their arrival garnered significant attention and optimism. Their partnership with Netflix was likened by some to the post-presidential media agreement pursued by Barack and Michelle Obama, suggesting a fusion of royal gravitas and California creativity. The Sussexes expressed a commitment to leveraging their platform for causes centered on compassion, purpose, and uplifting communities through storytelling. However, Sykes argues that the initial enthusiasm and potential have completely dissipated, noting that the original multi-year high-value Netflix contract was not renewed in its original form, but rather transformed into a diminished first-look deal. It is beneficial to elucidate the meaning of a first-look deal in industry terminology. A first-look agreement generally grants a studio or streaming service the right of first refusal on projects created by a production company. This means the platform can evaluate proposed projects initially and determine whether to finance, distribute, or acquire them before the producers seek alternative opportunities. Although such an agreement may offer continuous possibilities and a reliable avenue for meetings with executives, it is typically less extensive, less financially invested, and less indicative of success than a large-scale multi-film or multi-series production contract. Sykes contends that the restructuring of their agreement into a first-look pact diminishes expectations regarding the magnitude and regularity of their projects on the platform, indicating a reassessment of the relationship between the Sussexes and Netflix. The concerns surrounding their long-form work are compounded by the rumored status of Meghan's lifestyle series, allegedly named with Love Meghan. The program was expected to be a significant element of their content strategy. Nevertheless, Sykes indicates that its future remains dubious. He states that Meghan has said the show may not be renewed as a television series and is contemplating reformatting aspects of the concept, such as recipes, into brief 2-minute viral snippets for social media dissemination. The potential shift from long-form television to short-form digital content would correspond with overarching trends in media consumption as audiences increasingly interact with concise, digestible clips on platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Simultaneously, it illustrates the realistic reality of securing a full series commission and the budgetary considerations of television production compared to digital native content. A notable commercial and artistic difficulty arising from the coverage of the Sussex's media endeavors is the evident paradox of audience engagement. An unnamed Hollywood executive cited by Sykes articulated this difficulty succinctly. Viewers allegedly exhibit greater interest in the marriage when their work is directly related to the royal family. The CEO stated viewers appear to be interested solely in the provision of scandalous royal gossip. This engenders a challenging conflict for Harry and Meghan, who have consistently expressed a wish to transcend the royal tropes that have pervaded their coverage for years. If viewer preferences continue to favor content related to the monarchy, whether it insider disclosures, commentary on palace scandals, or personal narratives of royal life, then the couple's most commercially viable material may indeed be the very aspects they want to abandon. The executive proposed that projects highlighting aspects of royal controversy, such as content centered on Princess Diana or persistent rumors regarding her association with James Hewitt, would likely achieve popularity, demonstrating the industry's preference for material linked to infamy and scandal. This discovery highlights a fundamental aspect of celebrity-driven content. Specific topics, especially those linked to enduring public intrigue or unresolved cultural issues, consistently captivate audience interest. The Sussexes, who have shown a desire to focus on subjects such as mental health, racial justice, and family life, face challenges in reshaping the narrative due to the marketplace's established preferences. Sykes closes his research with a scathing evaluation of Harry and Meghan's capabilities as television producers. The rationale behind Harry and Meghan's belief in their proficiency as television producers remains enigmatic, he asserts, noting that the evidence in his opinion indicates they have not excelled in that capacity. He also delineates the couple's restricted social integration inside Hollywood's network infrastructure, observing that they seldom attend premieres or industry parties, which can be significant in the entertainment sector. Establishing relationships, engaging in informal networking at events, and maintaining a visible presence at industry functions frequently assist producers in fostering partnerships, acquiring talent, and sustaining dialogue with decision-makers. A notable absence from these circuits can impede access and progress in a relationship-oriented sector. These professional challenges coincide with alleged private disputes between Harry and Meghan concerning public strategy, especially in relation to their two young children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. A primary source of contention seems to be the extent of children's involvement in public-facing initiatives. Prince Harry has openly warned parents against sharing images of their children on social media, discussing the risks associated with online exposure. In a podcast interview, he expressly advised against these activities, highlighting the potential for detrimental outcomes. Critics and observers have seen a discernible mismatch between the public cautions issued and the couple's previous habit of disseminating photographs or footage of their children through certain governmental channels, as well as featuring such material in their docuseries. This disparity has incited conjecture regarding varying comfort levels within the marriage. Some analysts propose that Meghan may be more amenable to public exposure for their children when it serves brand enhancement or narrative purpose, while Harry's articulated views prioritize privacy and safeguarding. The inquiry regarding the inclusion of their children in a reality series is pertinent, as the genre frequently depends on family dynamics involving youngsters. Numerous successful reality shows emphasize the chaos, affection, and unpredictability of parenting and intergenerational dynamics as primary appeals. A Kardashian-style family program expressly incorporates children into its episodic structure. For the Sussexes, the decision to involve Archie or Lilibet necessitates ethical and strategic considerations regarding consent, privacy, and the utilization of minors in branding discussions that are already fraught with political and emotional implications due to the couple's public profile and the intense scrutiny they endure. The public engagements of the Duke and Duchess consistently attract heightened scrutiny and frequently evoke divisive reactions. A widely disseminated clip had Meghan surprised Harry following a World Series event. On the footage, Harry appeared down, while Meghan was noticeably thrilled. Media figure Meghan Kelly scrutinized this clip on her program, characterizing Harry's demeanor as akin to that of a hostage, implying he was discomfited by the circumstances. Kelly contended that the incident illustrated a recurring theme in which Meghan apparently never misses an opportunity to center herself, suggesting that the film allegedly recorded by a home security camera may have been released with a calculated public relations objective. This instance of critique aligns with a broader analytical framework employed by some commentators who perceive specific public actions and appearances as performative or designed to attract media attention. Kelly contextualizes this critique within a phenomenon she and similar commentators term disaster tourism, highlighting instances such as Meghan's impromptu visit to Uvalde, Texas, where she was captured placing flowers at a memorial, following a school shooting, and images of her in Paris near the location of Princess Diana's deadly car accident. Critics contend that these gestures seem to associate the Duchess with prominent catastrophes and collective mourning, consequently eliciting attention that others perceive as exploitative or self-serving. Conversely, Meghan's supporters may characterize such gestures as efforts to demonstrate solidarity or to enhance awareness. In media coverage, such instances serve as Rorschach tests. Various onlookers interpret markedly different intentions and meanings from the identical behaviors, highlighting the divisive nature of the Sussexes' public existence. As the Sussexes consider their prospects in the American entertainment industry, the royal family in the United Kingdom is grappling with an internal issue involving Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. This incident has entailed critical judgments about familial discipline, public perception, and institutional safeguarding. Tina Brown, a royal biographer and commentator on Substack, has provided an insider's perspective on King Charles's handling of the incident, involving his brother stemming from a civil complaint filed by Virginia Giuffre that contained charges of sexual assault. Brown states that following the resolution of the lawsuit, the late Queen Elizabeth II rescinded numerous military titles and royal patronages from Prince Andrew, and that King Charles has perpetuated his exclusion from public engagements. According to Brown's reporting, the King's strategy has integrated discipline with a realistic focus on institutional security rather than aiming to completely ostracize his brother. Brown asserts that the sovereign has persistently financed Andrew's living expenses and security expenditures using private monies. She articulates the rationale of this tactic concisely. If Charles declines to support Andrew's fundamental financial requirements, the Duke of York may be inclined, driven by financial desperation, to use insider information regarding the royal household through exposé interviews or a memoir. From this viewpoint, ensuring a basic level of comfort and security for Andrew mitigates the likelihood of him exchanging harmful information for financial gain, therefore aligning with the Crown's objective of preventing ongoing scandal. A palace insider cited by Brown characterized the scenario as a desperate hope that Andrew would act appropriately, however conceded that the family needed to take decisive action in his absence. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, is reportedly the family member most gratified by the implemented measures. As the heir apparent, William has a vested interest in preserving the monarchy's reputation and maintaining the stability of the Windsor brand in anticipation of his eventual succession. He reportedly advocated for a robust response to the controversies surrounding his uncle, a position that corresponds with a wider institutional objective of demonstrating clarity and discipline to the public. Brown's narrative encompasses the ramifications of these royal administrative decisions for the Sussexes. She characterizes King Charles's actions as a subtle yet unequivocal message to Harry and Meghan. The monarch has exhibited a readiness to undertake significant measures to safeguard the institution's integrity, including the revocation of titles and privileges. Brown advises the Sussexes to remain exceedingly silent unless they desire to assume the identity of Mr. and Mrs. Mountbatten Windsor, alluding to the potential and symbolic ramifications of losing their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles. This language underscores the symbolic and material authority of royal branding. Titles bestow rank, access, and affiliation, and their revocation would signify a significant reduction of the couple's formal link to the monarchy. The family's internal dynamics are further complicated by Sarah Ferguson's role as the Duchess of York. Despite her divorce from Prince Andrew, she has maintained a close connection with him and certain members of the royal family. Recent reports indicate that Ferguson feels marginalized by the current conditions and may be considering her options. Some sites speculate she might even author a memoir. If such a move were to transpire, it would provide an additional potential source of controversy and unpredictability, as personal reports from those within the royal sphere frequently garner significant public interest and can alter perceptions of private events. Insiders within palace circles allegedly distinguish the threat presented by Prince Andrew from that linked to Harry and Meghan. Andrew's problems involving his connection to Jeffrey Epstein and the subsequent charges and legal proceedings have undoubtedly inflicted significant reputational harm and disgrace. However, according to several palace insiders, Andrew's actions do not demonstrate an intention to reform or subvert the institution of the monarchy. His principal priorities, the tale suggests, center on maintaining personal rank and advantages under the current royal structure. In contrast, Harry and Meghan's public actions, such as Frank Interviews, a documentary series, and Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, are perceived by certain palace insiders as a conceptual or ideological challenge to the crown's authority and legitimacy. Their public utterances have revealed charges of racial bias within the institution and criticisms of the support systems the royal family offered or neglected to offer to them. These statements are perceived within the palace as more than mere humiliating stories. They are storylines that challenge the monarchy's moral integrity and could potentially transform public attitudes of the institution's nature and purpose. For the monarchy, which relies heavily on public trust and symbolic continuity, such criticisms hold considerable weight. In this intricate context, the speculation over a new reality series assumes profound importance. The forthcoming high-profile project for the Sussexes will be interpreted not merely as a commercial venture, but as a deliberate assertion of their desired public image, whether as entertainers and lifestyle influencers, advocates for specific causes, or as ongoing critics of the institution they departed from. Any upcoming series will converge with their quest for financial autonomy, their navigation of the international media landscape, and the unresolved emotional and political connections they uphold with the royal family. A reality program centered on joy parenting and celebrity friendships, featuring refined visuals and scripted spontaneity, would place the couple at a junction between mainstream entertainment and the distinct ethical, personal, and institutional issues that accompany their notoriety. If producers highlight the couple's domestic intimacy and social connections, the series may conform to established forms that have demonstrated success with other celebrity families. If it emphasizes interpersonal conflict and dramatic instances involving the Sussexes, it may inadvertently bolster the storylines that have attracted the most severe criticism of them in recent years. The creation and reception of such a series will be shaped by pragmatic decisions, the degree of the couple's engagement in Hollywood's social networks, their management of rights and editorial authority over sensitive content, and their choice to involve their children in manners that may elicit either affectionate attention or ethical examination. The decision to produce long-form broadcast-style episodes versus short-form digital content will influence the visual grammar, editorial pacing, financial model, and promotional strategies accessible to them. In addition to business and craft, any endeavor will be continually analyzed through the political lens of the couple's exit from the monarchy. Critics both within and outside the institution will evaluate whether the series aims to normalize a celebrity lifestyle detached from royal obligations, constitutes a sincere attempt to transition towards a typical family life and service, or represents yet another installment in a public discourse that has consistently revisited issues of race, privacy, and duty. Proponents are expected to perceive a new program as a chance for the Sussexes to engage audiences with messages like mental health, veteran assistance parenting, or other causes they advocate, utilizing a widely embraced medium to enhance such themes. The reported development transcends a mere entertainment endeavor. It serves as a nexus for conflicting expectations, commercial, artistic, ethical, and institutional to intersect. The couple's ability to convert their global fame into sustainable success in the competitive, interconnected, and relationship-oriented realm of Hollywood remains uncertain. The uncertainty extends to how their decisions may readjust the already strained relationship between the Sussexes and the royal institution they once served. As the project receives ongoing publicity and any official announcements are made, observers will monitor how the series' structure, substance, and distribution mirror the couple's aims, limitations, and ambitions. The final result will provide an additional chapter in the couple's continuous public story, intertwining the economics of contemporary stardom, the artistry of unscripted television, and the lasting significance of monarchy in the global consciousness. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for the time being.